Hey everyone, it's Adrienne Matz, and I'm here with Stephanie Long. You may already know her as Mrs. SEO, and she's also the founder of Junction Jack, which is a vetted marketplace of SEO experts that you can hire on a project basis. And she's also one of our wonderful community partners at the SEO community. We love her. Stephanie is based in Scottsdale and works with clients all over the world on SEO. Welcome, Stephanie.
Thank you. I'm so excited to talk with you.
Amazing. So today we decided to have this chat because we wanted to talk about a situation that a lot of SEOs are in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of a touchy subject because there's two schools of thoughts that are emerging, and I don't really, we don't have a lot of data yet. So,
Right.
short story short, we've heard some horror stories out there about people that are being asked by their leadership to just go ahead and put 100 blogs a month on the website. I
Mm-hmm.
heard this one gal was asked to do 100 a week, and it's taking a lot of people by surprise because for many it feels like a decision that's already been made by leadership,
Mm-hmm.
and then it just immediately puts like the SEO on defense because they know that there's a lot of risk here.
Right. Right.
So I wanted to ask you, going from 10 to 100 blogs a month with AI,
Mm-hmm.
what's driving people to think that that's a good idea? And you have some direct experience with that, so please like share what you're comfortable with and speak to whatever you're comfortable. But like, why is this happening? And
Mm-hmm.
what? Why are we at this crossroads where people want so much more volume?
Yeah, I definitely can't talk about the client. I do have an NDA, but what I think is happening is some investors came in and bought the company. I had done several audits on other companies they wanted to buy, so bring under their umbrella. And the agency that has now replaced me with 100 blogs a month versus 10, what is the agency that works for all the competitors. So I know exactly what is probably going to happen, and that is posting daily news, which they are not a news outlet, FYI. No one would go to these sites for news. And then they're going to write with AI. And here's the thing I just saw yesterday on LinkedIn. Anthropic is hiring for an SEO director. So AI is fueled by humans behind the scenes.
Yeah, searching real things and writing
I
real
need
things
to
to me.
make that clear. There's a human that helps fuel what you see. So I think one of the things is that they're probably hearing from other investors, this is what you have to do. And even though I present data, as we talk about, other people talk about, they and leads, they don't want to hear that really. They want their data the way they want their data, which is not possible. And even if it's not driving the results that it should, as long as they see numbers up in the millions and billions on their traffic, that is good
Right.
enough for them.
Green line goes up. That's all I need to know.
And they don't want to hear that. There's that zero click, right, with the AI overview, and then people searching in AI. So in Google Search Console, if you're following blogs or people on LinkedIn, traffic is going down. That doesn't mean you're doing bad. So if you're purely using Google Search Console as your source of truth, that's not really the whole picture.
So there's a ton of misinformation going around where
Totally.
people are saying you can do this and you can do 100 blogs a month and it's super easy, and the
Yeah.
reality is that it's not, and early data is showing that the impact can be pretty devastating over the long term.
And I can tell you, I am still working for them for a little bit. I have looked at this agency that has taken over and done what they asked, and traffic has gone down.
Okay. So you have early data,
I
and
had no doubt.
yeah, that it will keep
I
going.
said it and I see it. But at this point, it doesn't matter to them.
Why is that? So now we're in this position where it's like data doesn't lie, but it is definitely getting ignored. So what happens when you're in that position where you're like, okay, I guess we don't care about the data anymore?
I used to have access to the investors at first, and I do not now. They're fully, this is what they need to do because, again, I'm sure they're doing because the competitors based off of my audits. And also, I'm sure they're hearing from other investors, this is what you have to do because whatever they see online, I'm sure they even ask ChatGPT, what should I
Yep.
do? And you got to remember, ChatGPT and all the other AI tools learn you. So
Yes.
you are not actually getting what the world wants,
Right. It's like what it thinks you want
what
to
you
hear.
want. So it's going to tell you what you want to hear. And I think that's so one, you got to understand these tools are for you, not the world. So they'll tell you what you want to hear. And then two, there's an SEO behind all of these. And what SEO experts do fuels this. So I think those misconceptions, people just think it comes out of the blue. Like
Hmm.
it's from the ether,
Yes,
from outer
exactly.
space.
Right.
Like it just
Yeah.
gets the stuff and it's faulty. You always have to check your sources. It does not know.
Right.
So
The fact checking alone is like, well, now if you have to fact check all the articles, you're now
right.
asking a fundamental question like, are you okay with that level of inaccuracy going out? No, then you're back to hiring an editor or an SEO or a human who's going to have to.
I mean, you have to have human touch. I remember this when grocery stores came out with self checkout. People were freaking out. It's taking over jobs. Yeah, sure, it did cut some jobs. But if you notice, people are going back. Like they need help from a checker. What happens when the machine isn't scanning? Right? It's
Mhm.
a machine just like AI tools are a
Right.
machine. And this is not a new concept. I come from the tech world. I work for tons of companies because I'm from Seattle, that did machine learning. So
Hmm.
while it is a new phenomenon for a lot, this has been silently, quote unquote, going on for a long time.
Yes. And the automations that everyone thinks that, they call it AI, but really a lot of them are automations with
Mhm.
like if then statements and
Correct. Right.
decision tree throughout. And that's been around for a long time too. So now we're kind of combining machine learning with automations. And
Right.
to me, it's like, focus on efficiency. Like, what a
Mhm.
great use case for gaining efficiency before saying, okay, I'm going to go to 100 blogs. So let's
Yeah.
discuss why that's a myth. Because we know some business owners may end up watching this and they're thinking, should I ask my team to 10x their volume? And I want to speak to those people who might think it's a good idea, or like maybe some brands can do it. It could work for some brands. So I just want to like carefully bust some myths. When you
Mhm.
flood the internet with AI content, like what actually happens and why is it so risky for business owners to kind of chase this shiny thing?
Sure. I think what a lot of people don't pay attention to is Google core updates. And there was one in March, and that whole point of it was to rid the internet, without a better term, of AI flooded sites. So I come from way back when keyword stuffing was something. And I worked at an agency, very new, so I didn't know. I followed direction, stuffed the pages with keywords.
Right, we've all done that, right? Yeah.
You told me to put a bunch of keywords, so I went in and did it. And it actually tanked all the sites at the agency. Of course, so we're scrambling. So, and I said this during COVID too, when people were canceling SEO services, the ones that stayed with me, and so I still have, I have people that have been with me for years and years, stayed the course of time. So, of course, you need to always update your strategy, but don't. I read something where 70% of your site should be human, 30% can be AI.
Okay.
That's just a stat I found. I would probably lean more towards 80-20 or 90-10. That just saying you need a human to review. So I think that if you wholly rely on AI, you will crash your whole site
So this is for the
eventually.
people that are like, okay, we can put out 100 blogs with minimal editing, just get the list of topics, stick it in, have it generate it, and then we're going to go publish it all and it's going to be great.
Mm-hmm.
So there could be a world where like you're using AI assistance, but you're putting in human expertise and subject matter experts and,
Right.
having it be based off interviews and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if and think about if you're using it and asking the same keywords. So back to it understands you, so it's going to pull up what you want, and you probably have duplicate content because if you're all competing with the same business and you're like, I want to rank for insert your product, then you're all going to have the same copy.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you care or not, people care. I see AI. I know when I see AI content, I will leave, and Google cares.
Yeah.
It might not be as immediate, but it will catch up.
Right.
Um, and I think this core update was, I think, one phase. Again, I do not know. I'm making a prediction. I think there's going to be even bigger like update to come,
Yeah.
and the internet of
Yeah.
bad
Because we're
content.
seeing the obvious,
Hmm.
egregious, exploitative sites go first. And then
Exactly.
it's the ones that
Exactly.
are like, well, we were just doing 100 blogs a month, like you're next. And if your
Yeah.
ratio is that off, Google's going to be able to see that you don't have the, I hate this word, but it's coming out a lot now, which is like tastemakers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was like typically an editor before, or an
Hmm.
SEO editor would go in and say, like, do you have the right keywords? And also, does this meet intent? Do we
Right.
say something new for the user? Do we
Mhm.
give the reader new information they didn't have before? Do we help them make a decision, et cetera, et cetera? And
Yeah.
it's just seems like people kind of take for granted how much energy and time making good content takes. I guess my question for you is like, knowing that one great article could outperform 100 blogs,
Mhm.
what do you recommend businesses do instead? Like, what is, can I write one great blog that will make me forget about the 100 that I might just be spitting out every
Yeah.
day?
I actually had a client that was a AI social media tool, and that was the whole strategy we had. One really long informational post, very meaty, and split, like chop it up, right? Put charts and images, and I can be totally like corrected on this, but I feel like it's every 300 words you should have a new image. And make sure you have bullet points. Like Google likes those. So just break it up, but a really long one, like maybe about 1,500 words they would do. And that one solid one was great. So I have an exact case study for that. I think that works really well for SaaS companies because there's not necessarily something to write about every week per se. So
Right.
they did do once a month, like trending
Yeah.
topics, and do updates on their platform.
Right. And it's way much more likely to generate organic backlinks because
Exactly.
it's something worth citing. And right now, the pieces that are going to do the best are the ones that are considered an original source.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that as these updates go on, it could damage your brand entity or your domain
100%.
name? Okay, because
Absolutely.
I'm thinking like once you're known for being the 100 blog a month, over 70% AI, imagine it's going to be really hard to recover from that, especially if you can't see a manual penalty that you're like, okay, we fixed it. It's going to be really hard.
I think the recovery, in my opinion, again, all opinions, as a First Amendment right, I have all opinions. My opinion is that you will probably need to restart a whole new website,
Wow.
new brand name. I do feel like I do think it's serious, more serious than people
Yeah.
think. Okay, well, this might be a totally off comparison, but think about it when you do a chat on a website or you call, and all it's doing is sending you to an automated person. You really actually need to speak to someone or chat. That's how I look at AI. You're not actually giving anyone.
You're right. They're begging for human
Yeah,
interaction. You keep giving
yeah,
them robot.
yeah, yeah. So, I mean, how many times you press 000, on the
Right.
phone, talk to someone,
Yeah.
and
Then
it's
you're like,
being
I'll
less.
never go here again now.
Yeah. So think about how do you consume things? What do you want? So that's all how I structure just anything in my life. What do I like? My integrity. I, try and put that out to the world. So I think people are just really afraid and knee jerk reaction. And Just don't do it.
So we're talking about, right, just don't. We're talking about the long-term impact on trust. So it's not just about the fact that it could associate your domain with
Hmm.
things that you can't fix on your own. It's
Hmm.
also about training your readers that this is a place that's worth coming back to or not at all. And we did this, we had a share bar once,
Hmm.
and it was like a social media share bar. And we were not impressed by the numbers and we were considering taking it off. And we thought, gosh, no one shares these articles. And then we
Yeah.
looked at the WhatsApp numbers. And it
Mm,
turns out people were texting articles to individual friends. They weren't
interesting.
like sharing it on Facebook or whatever, but they were texting it to one other person. And so I thought that is such an ultimate sign of trust to be
Hmm.
like, I'm going to send this to a friend in our private DMs because I know they have a problem that this article might solve.
Hmm.
And so we left it up, but also it just made it that much more important that people are getting these things and making decisions on them. It should be
Yeah.
accurate and correct.
Yeah. And I also want to mention one more thing about I just thought of this, the website, like trying to do a new website. I think it'll also taint your domain authority, which is also a factor in Google rankings. And it'll probably show if you ran a domain authority audit, it would probably show you're a spammy site. So that's also why you
Right.
need
Spam score is
to. So
relatively new in the past
yeah,
couple years.
yeah,
And so it's interesting that that might become
yeah.
more
So I just wanted to,
prevalent metric.
yeah, say that because I think that will probably be the case.
Okay. So what do we tell the business owner that comes to us with this idea? And we're being the one asked to do the thing or at least like react to this idea. What How are you approaching it now that you have a little bit more information?
I just won't do it. So you would have to find someone else, like because as an SEO person, that's your reputation as well on the line. If
Right.
somebody says, "Oh, who does that?" and then they say your name. I mean, as somebody that's been doing this for 15 years, I would never want my name to be associated with 100 blogs a month.
Right.
I mean, data is my source of truth. I will show people the data. And, 99% of the time they'll come around to it. But there is that, 1%
Mhm.
as the person I'm speaking about really just wants what they want. I mean, that's just in
Yeah.
life, wants what you want. But I mean, everything I've been talking about today is what I speak about. I think it'll tank your site's potential, your spam score. When another core audit happens, I think it'll be more severe. So I think that people that aren't in the industry don't think about these things, but then for these people that are willing to just move forward with crappy content, they won't listen to the experts. And when you don't listen to the experts, like I don't know how to do my taxes. So I believe everything my CPA says,
Right.
right? Like she tells me what to do and that's
Yeah.
what I do. So if you don't trust your experts, that for me that's not a client for me.
Right. And it's funny because our relationships in this industry rely so much on trust. There's so many
Mhm.
tactics we could do. You want to make sure you have the person that has the critical thinking that they're going to apply the right tactic at the right time.
Mhm.
And it's amazing because that trust is like literally what we are trying to emulate on your website. Like we are trying to
Mhm.
make it seem like it's great to do business with you. And
Absolutely.
our relationship with the client is part of that whole, trust
Completely.
nest.
Completely. I mean, I have people forwarding me articles, coming to me about things, and the
Mhm.
ones that do trust me, I say, "Oh, this is great. This is terrible. Don't do this." Right? So
Right.
then they listen to me, and so it's not like people don't ask me constantly, but then they listen to me.
Exactly. And that's the thing is that 1% that have already made up their minds or the investor says this is a directive,
Hmm.
you might have to say, okay, I don't do that. And
Hmm.
I'm happy to make some suggestions or
Right.
send you off on your way.
Yeah. And then that's just not the client for me. I just don't serve companies that are with investors. It just
Right.
doesn't.
Yes, it is sometimes very challenging to work on that pace.
Mm-hmm.
I feel you there. Well, thanks, Stephanie. I really enjoyed this conversation. Is there anything else that people should know about this issue?
I also wanted to mention that you probably get a lot of DMs and emails from people willing or telling you they're going to get you to Google number one and the chat prompts number one, buy backlinks for you or get backlinks. All of that is bad. If anyone promises you anything, SEO is zero promises. Okay, this is, you're not paying for anything, so this is, you should never pay for backlinks. That will also affect your spam score. So zero promises. If there's any promises, delete immediately. But I get those as a business owner. They're not even looking who I am. I am an SEO expert, and they're sending me SEO like, oh, help.
Right.
Delete immediately. That will not happen.
That's always my recommendation is if someone DMs you and you're intrigued by the solution they have to a problem that might match your problem, stop and then go back and look at your own problem and say, where would I start if I was actually researching firms or consultants to help me with this problem? You wouldn't answer a random DM. You'd go out and you'd do research and you'd ask trusted advisors and peers and et cetera. And so start there and end up with a great SEO that you trust instead of being like, wow, great timing. Good thing I got a DM from a random person about it. Like, yeah, you want to
also look them up. A lot of them don't have business emails. They're Gmail, Yahoo, AOL. So be wary of that as well.
The fly by nights. Yes. They're not like super, it's much more legit if you've got
a business
email on a domain and a business and yada, yada, yada. Okay. Well, you heard it here. I'm off to write 100 blogs.
Me too. I'll do 101.